And I do believe that we have rotten politics, and I'm not using that as an exaggeration.
Hey everyone and welcome. In this video we're going to be having a look at a couple of news stories that are out. First off, we've got furlough to be extended till September. Yep, you heard that right. They've decided, I don't know how and why. Scratch that, I do know why. It's wishy-washy Sunak, innit? But they've decided to extend furlough till September. This is on the back of Boris Johnson saying we're coming out of lockdowns and restrictions and all of the rest by May. Seems that they were talking through the backside again, doesn't it? Now, at this point, I'd like to state the damage that the restrictions are doing by far outweigh the safety we're gaining from them, in my opinion. I'd like to know everyone else's opinion, though. It just does seem like it's one thing after the other, and we're never going to get out at this rate. If we leave it to these people in charge, I would have called them leaders, but they're not leading very much, are they? Like cattle to the slaughter. So I'd just say the ones in charge. But the ones in charge seem to want us to be locked in forever, ensuring pretty much that none of us have any jobs. There is no industry in the country anymore, and no prospects for our children. Please tell me if you think I'm being over dramatic. Well, on top of that, another story has just come out as well. Now, you may remember, I'll take you back a little bit, that some places in the UK were very, very strict, shall we say, when it comes to restrictions. Isle of Man being one of them. You remember they were sending people to prison for not obeying by the rules, etc, etc. Well, we've got this article, remember? We sent rule breakers to prison, now we're COVID free. Shall we have a look at the Chief Minister as he blows his own trumpet? Have a quick look at this, everyone.
How have you managed to tame the virus?
Well, I suppose we went in pretty hard and fast in March of last year, and we closed our borders initially. Then we brought in some pretty tough restrictions. So people have to quarantine when they come to the Isle of Man if they've travelled off the island for 14 days. And now we do testing on day 1, 6 and 13 before we allow them to go back into the community. We did have, obviously, the last 6 months of last year, we were totally COVID free. Sadly, we had a few cases at the beginning of January, so we had to bring our circuit break.
And how long have you had the quarantine system in place?
Since March of last year.
So when you look at the mainland Britain, and you see that we still haven't brought it in even today, and we're now 10 months later, are you slightly baffled about this government and its border policy?
Well, I suppose it's trying to compare apples with pears, really. We're a small island in the middle of the Irish Sea with a population of 85,000, so we can be much quicker, more agile, whereas the UK with 60 plus million, it will be a lot harder to implement.
So as you can see, Billy Big Balls, isn't he? He loves it. He thinks he's done a world of favour. And most of the left-wing media held them up as the shining example, didn't they? Remember, everyone? Well, now we've got this. Isle of Man goes into 21-day circuit breaker lockdown due to rising COVID cases linked to ferry crew members, and a month after all restrictions were lifted, including social distancing. Let's not forget as well, everyone, he did say that they're still quarantining and they're still doing the testing. Remember? Yeah, they blaming ferry people, obviously, but I don't think it's that at all. Do you? Do you, everyone?
No, because they said that no one was allowed over to the island. So
yeah, so they wouldn't have been getting off.
No, so therefore it's their own population that...
Yeah, they locked the gates down.
Yeah.
They've opened up, it's back. You got to remember, you not remember the pictures they were putting out in the media? Look to the Isle of Man, they can go to pubs. Yeah. I'm not saying, by the way, that pubs are where they're getting it from. I'm just saying they opened up again, didn't they? After locking down massively, including the borders, and it hasn't worked. 60 new cases been found. 60. But they're blaming the ferry workers. How dare you, in my opinion. But what say you, everyone? Do you think this is just more evidence that the restrictions are not working the way they're telling us? Or do you actually believe it was ferry people? Because it seems to be everyone just blames everywhere else, don't they? You got Scotland blaming the English for their problem. You got the Welsh blaming the English and shutting the borders. And then you got the EU blaming everybody else as well.
The thing about the furlough as well, if you remember, they extended it in the summer and said, soon as furlough's done in the summer, everyone's back to work, we're going to open. And then they extended it again. Yeah. And they said the same again. And then they said, by the 12th of April this year, everything will be back to normal. Hairdressers will open, shops will open. Then they've extended it to September. So that says to me, we're stuck in this again till September.
I think we're stuck in this until we do something about it. I really do. I don't think they're ever going to let us out, because it just seems to be this is Brazil related, doesn't it?
Well, it's a circle.
You were in, and now we've got an anonymous person that's got the lurgy. I don't know how that one works, but we don't know who it is, but we know we've got it. Okay. I won't say any more than that.
So it says to me that we're just basically going around in a massive circle.
Kicking the can down the road. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon, share it out. I mean, it does look like it's a little bit more evidence, doesn't it, to say that the restrictions, even the real draconian ones, don't work. Am I wrong? But let us know your opinion, everyone.